Okay, we have perfect amount of time, maybe, if we're on time, for our next three speakers. Right. I think we're going to start with who should we start with? Craig. I think let's have a complete change of pace. Do you want to go first? We're going to go Craig, Chelsea, and then Meow. Does that work? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Shall I go?
Yeah, Craig, do you want to take it away? You're going to tell us about TagRanger, is that correct?
Yeah, can you see my
Yeah,
screen?
we can. Talk us about tracking.
Marvelous. Okay, thank you.
And maybe you can give us a definitive answer on that biology question.
Oh, I'm last person to ask on that one.
Right, carry it away. Take it away.
Okay, so I'd like to talk very quickly today in the 5 minutes we have available about TagRanger. It's a product that we've launched just before Christmas this year. We're describing it as a unique high-performance way of finding, tracking, and monitoring animals. Particular emphasis on the finding element of that. The TagRanger system consists of a highly portable, multifunctional platform with extensive configuration and capable of operating completely offline. So those are the four key USPs, if you like, of the system. I'll go into those in a moment. The components they consist of the finder, this is the device on the left, the green device, the tag, obviously the small brown device as shown in the image, and the TagRanger app running on an Android smartphone. So those are the components you need to run a basic TagRanger system. The applications are, in one sense, there's some fairly traditional ones in here, but there are also some quite special ones too. So the first one is a locate on demand capability. And this is where you can wake up your tag at any time just by sending a message to it over the system and getting a GPS location and some other device parameters returned to you. The second one is live tracking, which is a fairly traditional tag capability where the tag periodically sends its position to your network. The slight difference here is that we can completely schedule that if you want to only send positions during the day or during the night or between 10 and 11 in the morning. You can set up a system to do all of that, and you can in that way get the most information out of your data, but also save precious battery life. Finding is a key part of this system, and the idea is that you don't just want to know where something is or where something was, but you actually want to go and find it, literally get within touching distance. And we've got two features in TagRanger which allow you to do this, one of which acts like a VHF pinger, giving you a relative power measurement to your tag from a number of pings, and you can home in on your tag using that methodology. When you get quite close, within 150 meters, further if you're in a good line of sight environment, you get the device can switch to a distance measurement in meters. And again, you can home in doing a hotter, colder approach until you're literally within touching distance, and your feedback is telling you that you're a meter or half a meter away from your tag. And the final application there is logging, again, fairly traditional, but there's 2 megabytes of storage on board the devices. They record all events, all GPS positions, and some sort of systematic features as well. The key technologies within the TagRanger system are 4 radios, basically. So the most important one is a LoRaWAN ad hoc network. So what we've done is we've taken the LoRaWAN standards and we've customized those for use in TagRanger. Now, the finder, which is the device, the green device with the long antenna on it, that goes with you, and that becomes your network. So that goes wherever you want to go. You don't need satellite, you don't need cell phone network connections. You just go wherever you want and you carry your network with you. And that gives you up to 20 kilometers range with no network costs and no infrastructure required. The UWB radio is the high performance distance measurement tool, and that can literally give you distance measurements with a centimeter scale precision. And because this radio also supports high data rate transmission, we use that for remote data download when you're within, say, 30, 40 meters of the tag. We use Bluetooth to connect the Finder device, your network device, to your smartphone. And the smartphone is running your control center application on there. And GNSS is the GPS and the other global satellite positioning tools. The smartphone app is the real, like I said, control center for the whole TagRanger system. This pairs using Bluetooth with your Finder unit, and it provides your interface to show you mapping, and online and offline worldwide mapping is supported. So you can really go off grid and still take offline maps with you. We use the app also to configure the tags and the other devices in the system. And we have a few concepts here where you can set up profiles which you can roll out to a number of devices. So this is good for being consistent with your network setups, for example, or for having different profiles for different scenarios, which you can roll out to different banks of tags. You also have this concept of banks where the tag can support 5 different configurations. And these can be changed in the field remotely using the Finder over the LoRaWAN network. And this is good if you want to have periods of high tag usage, or if you want to just put it into a longer term sleep mode when you're not really interested in any feedback or interested in interacting with a tag. The configurations are extensive, can be a bit bewildering at first glance, but we have full capability to set calendars for the GPS schedules, for making transmissions over the LoRaWAN network, operating things like geofences and different modes of radio communication. You can also do things like tag naming and sort of housekeeping functions as well. The app also is your interface for actually messaging your tag and getting the feedback from it, displaying the pin on the map, for example, giving you data over the battery status or the last known GPS coordinates of the tag. And all of this has a background cloud account, which allows you to back up your settings. All of your profiles and configurations will be backed up in the cloud. So if you damage your phone, or you lose your phone, or you damage the Finder, you can just reinstate the whole thing from scratch using your cloud account backup. So to give you an idea of how these technologies come together in a finding scenario, when you're far from your tag, or you think you are anyway, you use the long-range radio to request the tag location. So you send a message to wake up the tag. The tag wakes up, acknowledges that wake up, and then proceeds to try and get a new GPS location. And when it does, it will ping that back to you over the LoRaWAN network. You then head off to the general area of that GPS location, and then you can start to use one of the 2 ranging methods. So the first is the hybrid ranging, and this, like I said earlier, acts like a VHF pinger, where you get a signal strength reading on your phone, and you move in the direction that gives you the stronger signal strength until you're considerably closer. When you're within a certain signal strength threshold, that's configurable in the phone settings, the device will switch over to the UWB ranging, and this will give you a distance in meters to your tag, and then you can proceed to get closer still. Even if you can't see the tag or the animal, you can get closer. If you're just camouflaged or hiding behind a bush, you know for sure if you've got that measurement how far away you are from it. Final point is the range of the system is limited by the LoRaWAN connection link. We have a means to address that by a feature we just released end of last week, which is called Relay. This allows you to put the finder, which is your network gateway, on a drone or on a mast, or on a balloon, on a tethered balloon, for example. That allows you to get a lot of height and also distance. And using the relay device, you can then, as you would normally would with a finder, communicate via the finder to the tag. And this has the effect of doubling the potential range of your system. In principle, up to 40 kilometers, if you could fly a drone as far as 20 kilometers.
Sorry to interrupt. We are running very, very over time. Do you want to wrap it up?
Sorry, that's my last slide.
I'm sorry. I know you're getting a lot of questions in the chat. There's questions about security. There's questions about setting up LoRa networks and size of tags. There's a lot of interest. So I would definitely, can you jump into the chat and pick up the questions?
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully you're going to be okay to hang around for after
I'll be here after the talk as well.
Perfect. Okay, we have lots of questions from people that we want to cover, so we will pick them up afterwards. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to wrap you up like that.
No, thank you. Sorry.
All good.